Have you ever pondered the origins of the civilization we live in? How was it created? Why is humanity the only intelligent life on this planet? And why do ancient myths from across the globe share strikingly similar stories, as if they stem from a forgotten truth? In this video, we embark on a thrilling journey to explore the bold hypothesis of Zecharia Sitchin, a researcher who claimed that humans did not evolve naturally, but were crafted by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization, the Anunnaki, from the planet Nibiru. Prepare to dive into a mysterious world where history, mythology, and science fiction intertwine as we seek the true origins of humanity. Part 1. The Enigma of Life's Origins. Let's start with a fundamental question. Where did life on Earth come from? Science has shown that human DNA is 96 to 99% identical to that of chimpanzees. But did you know we also share 40% of our genetic code with a cabbage? This suggests that most life on Earth may have originated from a single source. But what is that source? Carbon, the cornerstone element of life, makes up only 0.02% of Earth's mass. How could such a scarce element give rise to the complex life we see today? Many believe life is not the product of random chance, but the result of an intelligent design, orchestrated by a purposeful force. Zecharia Sitchin, a controversial researcher, proposed a daring theory. Humans could not have naturally evolved to achieve the level of civilization we have today. Consider this. 3.9 million years ago, our ancestors appeared. The Neanderthals emerged 2 million years later, but their stone tools remained nearly unchanged for millions of years. Then suddenly, around 35,000 years ago, humans began speaking, painting on cave walls, and crafting more sophisticated tools. It's as if humanity was running a marathon, then abruptly opened a secret door, surging ahead while other species lagged behind. Sitchin argued that during our evolution, an external force intervened, enlightening humanity, transforming us from four-legged creatures into upright beings who freed their hands and built civilization. Sitchin believed that behind humanity's emergence lies an extraterrestrial civilization with technology beyond our imagination, hailing from the planet Nibiru. He called them the Anunnaki, deities described in ancient Sumerian mythology. But are these merely figments of ancient imagination? Or do they hint at a real foundation? Let's find out. The Sumerian civilization, a mysterious leap forward. To understand this better, we must travel back to around 4000 BCE, to the fertile plains of Mesopotamia, where the Sumerian civilization emerged. Considered one of humanity's earliest civilizations, some scholars even call it the cradle of European civilization. The first Sumerian city, Eridu, seemed to appear out of nowhere, with no signs of gradual development. Stranger still, from the outset, Sumerian achieved astonishing feats: advanced medicine, surgery, codified laws, agriculture, and even beer. Imagine this. Thousands of years ago, the Sumerians were extracting petroleum to create pharmaceuticals and performing surgeries with clear legal regulations. If a surgery failed, the doctor could face severe punishment, even losing a hand. Their legal system covered criminal, civil, commercial, and family law, remarkably similar to modern legal frameworks. They invented the cylinder seal, an ancient printing press that allowed mass production of inscriptions on clay tablets. Over 100,000 artifacts, from clay tablets to sculptures, have been unearthed, testifying to their extraordinary advancement. But how could an ancient civilization achieve such feats without a primitive phase? Sitchin argued that the Sumerians didn't accomplish this alone. They received knowledge and technology from the Anunnaki, a civilization far more advanced. Sumerian artifacts and records seem to intentionally or unintentionally reveal that their origins are tied to an external force. Remarkably, Sumerian writing influenced numerous other civilizations, from Greek and Latin alphabets to Spanish. This shows the vast reach of Sumer, radiating from the Indus Valley to the Arabian Peninsula, ancient Egypt, and Persia. Part 3. The Anunnaki and the 12 Gods. In Sumerian mythology, two key concepts stand out: the 12 gods and the Anunnaki. The 12 gods, led by Anu, the ancestor of the gods, are depicted as powerful entities with distinct names and abilities. The Anunnaki, according to Sitchin, are the gods who fell from the sky. In Sumerian, Anu means sky, and Naki means earth, making the Anunnaki the gods of heaven and earth. But are they truly supernatural deities, or could they be extraterrestrial beings with advanced technology? Sitchin claimed the Anunnaki came from Nibiru, a mysterious planet with a 3,600-year orbit around the Sun. They arrived on Earth to mine gold, a precious metal needed to protect Nibiru's atmosphere. Sumerian myths portray the Anunnaki not just as gods, but as beings with human-like emotions, jealousy, power struggles, and even warfare. The two most pivotal figures are Enlil and Enki, Anu's sons. Enlil, the god of the sky and king of the gods, was entrusted by Anu to rule Earth. He provided the Sumerians with knowledge and tools, but was also a punisher when humans defied the god's will. In mythology, Enlil once ordered the Great Flood to wipe out humanity for their arrogance and sins. This flood bears striking similarities to stories in the Bible and Greek mythology, prompting the question, is this mere coincidence, or did humanity witness a real global event? In contrast, Enki, the god of salt water and wisdom, was humanity's ally. Described as a master engineer, he designed canals, riverbanks, and drainage systems. Enki is also credited with creating humans using his intellect. According to myth, he secretly gave humans the key to eternal life, defying the other gods' wishes. The first human he created was Adapa, seen as the prototype for Adam in the Bible. Part 4. The Tower of Babel, a gateway to the heavens. One of the most famous stories in ancient mythology is the Tower of Babel, where humans attempted to build a tower reaching the heavens. According to the Bible, God punished their hubris by confusing their language, scattering them across the world. But Sitchin offered a different interpretation. He suggested the Tower of Babel was not just a structure, but a launch platform, a gateway connecting Earth to the heavens, used by the Anunnaki to travel between Earth and Nibiru. In Sumerian mythology, Shim, often translated as name, could actually refer to a flying vehicle, like a rocket or spacecraft. Sitchin argued that humans built the Tower of Babel to emulate Anunnaki technology, hoping to achieve immortality by reaching the heavens. But why were their languages confused? Sitchin pointed out that Sumerian writing influenced many ancient civilizations, from Greece and Rome to Egypt. While these cultures used similar scripts, their pronunciations diverged, leading to linguistic fragmentation. Was this the Anunnaki's way of controlling humanity, preventing them from uniting and challenging divine authority? Part 5. Anunnaki Technology, Spacecraft, or Divine Birds. Sumerian mythology is filled with details that sound like science fiction. For instance, Inanna, the goddess of war and beauty, is described flying through the sky in a special suit with a helmet, pendants, and a strange device behind her head. Sitchin suggested this was a spacesuit designed for space travel. The Sumerian word Mai, used for the god's attire, might refer to an energy-powered device enabling travel between Earth and the heavens. Another striking artifact is the depiction of Anunnaki with wings, holding bread of life and buckets of life water. Many dismiss these as religious symbols, but Sitchin argued they represent technology. Wings symbolizing flight, and the bread and buckets indicating energy or life-sustaining devices. A statue at the University of Pennsylvania Museum even shows a god inside a rocket-like object, surrounded by 12 celestial spheres. Could this be the Sumerians' depiction of a spacecraft? The story of Ninurta, Enlil's son, adds to the sci-fi intrigue. In one myth, Ninurta uses a weapon called Toe Deer to defeat a rebel named Joe, who stole Enlil's symbol of power. Sitchin suggested Toe Deer was a missile, and Ninurta's divine bird was an advanced flying vehicle. Temples described in the myths, with thick walls to withstand high temperatures, resemble modern aircraft hangars. Could this be evidence of a high-tech war among extraterrestrial beings? Part 6. Journeys to the Heavens. Two prominent myths about humans seeking immortality are the stories of Adapa and Gilgamesh. Adapa, created by Enki, was the first human granted wisdom but not eternal life. Due to his courage and intelligence, Adapa was invited to the heavens, where he was offered the bread of life and water of life to become immortal. However, Enki warned him not to consume them, causing Adapa to miss his chance at divinity. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the demigod king Gilgamesh also sought immortality. He traveled to the land of Timon, ruled by the sun god Utu, and witnessed strange sights, blazing lights, fire, smoke, and a divine bird flying vehicle. Sitchin interpreted this as a rocket launch. Gilgamesh eventually found the plant of immortality, but lost it, leaving a poignant tale of humanity's elusive quest for eternal life. Part 7. Mike Marcum and the Time Machine. Now let's shift to a modern yet equally mysterious tale, Mike "Madman" Marcum and his time machine. In 1995, in Missouri, USA, 21-year-old Marcum, an ordinary electrician, embarked on a wild experiment, building a time machine. Inspired by mythology and science fiction, Marcum created a device called the Jacob's Ladder, using two metal rods and a transformer to generate a plasma arc. During one test, Marcum witnessed a bizarre phenomenon. A translucent energy sphere appeared, distorting the surrounding light. When he threw a screw into it, it vanished and reappeared a few meters away. This led Marcum to believe he had accidentally created a time portal. However, the device soon burned out due to overload. Undeterred, Marcum upgraded his machine. He stole 6 industrial transformers from a power station, generating up to 76,000 volts. In the next test, a larger energy vortex appeared, swallowing everything thrown into it, including a sofa. But disaster struck when police discovered his theft. Marcum was arrested, sentenced to 60 days in jail, and placed on 5 years probation. After his release, Marcum's story became a sensation. He was invited to the popular radio show Coast to Coast AM, where he detailed his experiments. His sincerity captivated millions, and he received funding to continue his research. In 1996, Marcum and a new team built an improved machine with a staggering 3 million volts, creating a 1.5-meter energy sphere. In one test, a hamster thrown into the sphere reappeared 150 meters away, stunning the team. The climax came when Marcum decided to jump into the energy sphere himself, and then he vanished. No trace remained. Millions following his story on the radio were shocked. Nearly 20 years later, in 2015, Marcum reappeared on the show Midnight in the Desert, claiming he woke up in Ohio, 1,300 kilometers from the test site 2 years later. All his equipment and data had vanished, as if deliberately erased. Marcum continued raising funds to rebuild his machine, but after a 2015 online post, he disappeared again. Some linked his story to a 1930 newspaper article about a mysterious drowned man in California, found near a device resembling a mobile phone. Was this Marcum trapped in time, or was it all an elaborate hoax? Part 8. Truth or Fiction? The stories of Zecharia Sitchin and Mike Marcum both raise the question, could these sci-fi-like tales be true? For Sitchin, the Anunnaki and Nibiru hypothesis remains controversial. Many scientists argue that Sumerian texts are purely mythological, not historical. Yet, the similarities across ancient myths and Sumer's sudden advancements make it hard to dismiss the possibility of a hidden truth. For Marcum, his story is backed by radio recordings and police records, but no direct witnesses have confirmed his experiments. Did he truly build a time machine, or was he a cunning fraud? If Marcum did travel through time, he might be stuck in another dimension, or even a one-way time traveler, unable to return. Part 9. Conclusion. Whether it's the Anunnaki or Marcum's time machine, both stories open doors to humanity's greatest mysteries. Where do we come from? Where can we go? Is humanity truly the product of an extraterrestrial civilization, or merely the result of random evolution? Did Mike Marcum touch the boundaries of space and time, or was he swept up in his own fantastical tale? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the Anunnaki were real, or just ancient imagination? Where do you think Mike Marcum went? A distant future, or simply into hiding? If you want to hear more about mysteries like the Philadelphia experiment or the Anunnaki's origins, let me know. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to catch more thrilling stories. We'll meet again in the next video.